I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to perform self-healing. Really any kind of healing, whether physical, whether emotional, whether energetic, whatever kind of healing that you need in your life. We're going to be talking about the essence of what it actually is and how to bring the energy of healing into pretty much anything that you're doing, allowing you to get to a higher level in whatever area of your life. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video, and this might sound like a little bit of a controversial video, right? Because it's like, who am I to talk about self-healing? So I'm going to be sharing with you in this video some personal experiences that I've had as well in terms of performing sort of physical healings and just working through some issues that I had in my life in terms of my health and how I was able to work through that and take responsibility for the things that I was able to take responsibility for, and then just surrender into what I have no business controlling whatsoever, if I'm really honest about the situation in terms of what it used to be. So we're going to talk about that as well. But before we get into that though, the first thing that I really want to share with you is that the first step, the first thing you need to know about self-healing in regards to any kind of healing that it's going to be, there's going to be one thing that is common between all of those that I found in my experience, which is number one, unconditional awareness. Okay? Unconditional awareness. Because actually what's happening when some sort of a healing is happening, and I say healing in this way, I'll explain in a minute why I say it in that way, is that really all that's happening is that you're just simply allowing the experience to be what it is. It's simple as that. So it's just unconditional awareness, just unconditional awareness of what's happening in your experience and not actually labeling one thing as right or wrong or putting some judgment on it or saying this shouldn't be happening. Not to say that you might not get angry. You could be like, oh, like, why is this happening to me? You might even get angry or, lash out at somebody in your experience. That can happen. That's sometimes part of the human experience. But even through that, there's an unconditional acceptance of even that, right? And there's a meta-consciousness awareness of all this, stuff that's happening, whether at an emotional level or physical level. Whereas if you look back at your experience before any sort of healing happened, if you've ever had an experience like this, there's just all the energies almost like trapped in the mind. There's no expansiveness to just allow what it is to be. Because as soon as there's an expansion trying to happen, it's like, nope, I don't want to look at that. That's too much. Then it just right back into the ego pattern loop. And there's like a fear of seeing what is happening, what the natural progression of your next, the next aspect of your life is supposed to be, because we're always supposed to be evolving. We're always supposed to be transforming, letting go of the past, transforming into the new. That's healing, really. Healing is just transforming yourself and realizing that you're always becoming a different version of yourself in each moment. That's really what healing actually is that you're transforming into a different version of yourself, and then who you used to be just falls away. But that can't happen. We can't talk about the deeper subtleties of transforming yourself and transformation and focusing on that future self and who you prefer to be, letting go of the past self. Like all these things, it's just going to go one ear and out the other, unless there's, of course, a foundation of unconditional awareness. Unconditional awareness. Without unconditional awareness, there is no chance at healing really anything. And if there is, it's not going to be an enjoyable process, and usually there's not a true letting go of whatever you're holding on to if you kind of manipulate your way into getting there with the mind without actually expanding your consciousness. You might get little glimpses of it, you might have it sometimes, but then eventually, if you stay in that program long enough, what you'll notice is that you get the opposite of a healing experience. Usually problems arise, and then the issue that you're dealing with starts to expand and become more apparent that you're not doing something right energetically, not trusting yourself, not expanding your awareness, right? And expanding your awareness might sound a little bit scary, might sound a little bit intense, but really all it is just simply being aware of what is happening in your experience. As sometimes the word that I like to use is the observer. You're just the observer. You're not the things happening to you. You are the observer of the things happening to you. And then from that space, that is where healing happens, whether physical, whether emotional, whether energetic or whatever kind of healing, because from that point, now you don't even care necessarily about changing or healing anything. You just see it for what it is. And then naturally the change starts to happen from that space, right? One quote that I'm gonna quote from Eckhart Tolle, if you've ever read Eckhart Tolle, really powerful stuff, really encourage you to definitely check that out, is that what he talks about is that true change can only come from acceptance. True change can only come from acceptance. So without a foundation of unconditional awareness, of acceptance, of seeing this moment for what it is, just in this moment, you cannot transform, you cannot change, you cannot perform any type of transformation or healing or whatever you want to call it, because it's just as simple as you cannot change what you're resisting. It's impossible. If there's something you're resisting in your experience, you will amplify it again and again and again. That's just basically how it works, because what you give your attention to is manifesting your experience. But if you're giving your attention to something unconsciously, because you're afraid to look at something else unconsciously, you're just going to keep getting that thing you don't want again and again. But if you spread out your awareness and you realize, wait a second, I'm just going to accept this for what it is, let the energy flow, then you actually stop giving it energy. Does that make sense? So when all the energy is in the external, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing something wrong, what's happening? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just in the right, and you're in the wrong state of being. You're not giving yourself the chance to heal whatever it is that you're going through, because there's no acceptance. So that's always the most powerful foundation. And so before we get to the second point, this is how I actually healed my health issues in regards to something that I used to have called eczema. And I still have lingering aspects of it, really small amounts. But if you go to the community tab on my YouTube channel, it used to be really, really bad. And then the way I was able to overcome that, I could talk about deeper things like diet, like exercise, like moving the body, and all these things are powerful. But I was doing all of these things from a state of consciousness of being stuck in my head. And I did those things, and they actually made the health issue worse and worse and worse. When I did those exact same actions from a different space of expanding my awareness, then the healing started to happen, right? So it's not always about what we're doing in life that allows for healing to happen. It's how we're doing it in the place that we come from, and really how surrendered are we to the structures that we're choosing. Because techniques are fine. In fact, they're really useful. But no technique is going to work for you unless you come from unconditional awareness. It's as simple as that. This is why I always talk about the foundation is unconditional awareness, like unconditional awareness. You have to nail that unconditional awareness, get out of the program you're in, and just be the observer. And then from that space, now the technique will work for you. It's just as simple as that. It's not complicated, but people are just scared to expand their awareness. And it's not complicated. It's just, all you have to do is just notice any aspect of your experience that you're pushing away anything, or saying it shouldn't be there, or you're calling it bad, or you're saying this shouldn't be in my experience, or maybe you're trying to avoid an emotion. Just stop all of that and then just become the observer of what's happening and simply fully allow that. Then from that space, we can talk about transformation, which leads me to the second point in this video. Once you actually start to have that awareness of just being aware of what is, the second thing that you want to do to step deeper into any aspect of healing in your experience, and I'm just coming from personal experience here. I'm not here to be like a Buddha or a sensei or whatever. I'm just coming from personal experience and how I was able to heal my health issues and any emotional issues that I had, and how it happened very fast when I shifted out of being trapped in my mind. It's just as simple as that. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you is to trust what you need moment to moment. So for me, even in regards to my health issues that I was able to heal, or my skin just got better and is continually getting better and better and better. Like I used to have really bad skin. Now I look at my skin, I'm just like, not only is it not bad, but I noticed that my health is like glowing sometimes. Like I'm literally glowing. Like my skin is like golden. I'm just like, I can see my aura is like glowing. And I'm not saying that to show off. I'm just really grateful to be there, because the way that I was able to even get there was by simply allowing the experience to be as it is, and then from that space, just trusting what I need moment to moment. Like, what food is my body calling for? What do I need to do right now? What action do I need to be taking? Not because I believe I have to do it because it's some overly logical thing in my mind, but a genuine feeling, like a heart feeling almost, if you want to call it that. But it's not quite a feeling, it's just something that is deeply in resonance with my unconditional awareness. It's like where my awareness wants to go. Like, what would be an act of self-love? Is it to eat a certain food? Is it to go for a walk? Is it to, do something in regards to my business? So that's what I started to do. I just started to trust myself moment to moment. I started to trust myself in each moment, like, what does my body need? What do I need to be doing right now? And what happened was, that's when all the healing started to happen. My health got a lot better and things started to move forward in a much powerful way that was not able to happen when I was coming from that space of only trying to be logical about everything that I need to be doing, because I need to be thinking about what I need to do and screw how I feel and just let me just do all the logic. You see, like that energy, that frantic energy, you're being swayed by something that somebody has told you, right? Like, somebody has told you a story that you don't resonate with, but you believe that you have to do it because it's very compelling. It's like, yep, that's gonna work, but you don't really want to do it, but it's like, I'm just gonna do it anyways because I need to fix this problem, right? And the more that I did that, worse and worse and worse, my skin continually got worse, had breakouts, intense flare-ups. So really, healing this issue was an emotional issue. The energy was trapped in my body. And the moment that I started to let the energy sort of flow and just do what I needed to do moment to moment, that's when the healing started to happen, right? And this is how it's gonna happen for you. This is how you start to heal anything in your life. Physical, maybe you have a block in regards to money. How do you heal that? You let yourself be the way that you are, and you simply go make money anyways. It's just as simple as that. When I say it's just as simple as that, I'm not kidding, because life is very simple. But when we're stuck in these loops, we lose the simplicity of doing what we need to do in this moment right now. Because the moment that you're experiencing now is the most important moment that you'll ever experience, because it's that each moment is the stepping stone to the future. So what you're doing now and what you're giving your life energy to, whether unconsciously or unconsciously, is going to dictate your experience. So it's important to be coming from a space of just simply trusting what you need moment to moment. You have to trust what you need moment to moment. So if you feel like you need something, you have to go after it and just simply fall into that and totally trust that choice. Fall into that thing that you're choosing for yourself, because you can trust that you know what you need. And even if it's a little bit scary, even if you're a little bit in the unknown, it's like, no, I trust that I will adapt to the situation. You see, you trust that you're going to adapt to what technique you choose. So if I choose this technique or this diet or this, coaching program or this protocol to help myself, you trust yourself fully that it's going to work, because you actually believe that that's what's going to work for you. You trust your beliefs, where you are and what makes sense to you, and you just trust that in this moment right now. And it's always going to be happening right now if you feel called to, go after something. But again, whatever technique you choose in regards to any kind of healing, physical, energetic, or maybe if you want to manifest something in your life and remove some sort of a block energetically or whatever resonates for you, it's important to come from that space of unconditional awareness. Again, you're not gonna, those things that you trust, because even if you're doing what you feel called to do moment to moment, if you're stuck in a loop, it's not gonna work for you. Simple as that. When I was doing what I felt called to do moment to moment in an ego loop, everything was terrible in my life. Everything was horrible. Things got wrong. I lost lots of money. My health continued to get worse. Things weren't working. When I actually did those same things from a space of just being aware of what's happening and not judging the experience, everything started to move forward in my life. I felt a little bit uncomfortable. It was a little bit weird. It felt a little bit uncomfortable. Lots of emotions that were unprocessed for probably months and millennia and lifetimes. But I felt into all of that, and then things started to move forward again. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. In one reality, you're accepting everything and things are moving forward for you, seemingly moving in the direction that your heart wants. In another reality, you push away things saying that they're bad, you judge the experience, and you're stuck in your head, even though you don't admit it to yourself, but you are. And in that reality, what's happening is that you're unconsciously feeding what you don't want. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated, it's very simple. One reality, you're stuck in the mind. One reality, you're expanded in awareness and you're not judging your experience. This is how it is. And in that reality, you have the highest probable chance when it comes to expanding awareness. In that reality, you have the highest probable chance of allowing any healing to happen, whether you do that through a structure, through a technique. Maybe you just sit on your chair and you just feel everything for a day and you do nothing. It doesn't matter really what's happening in the external. It's what that energy is guiding you to do and what are you called to do outside of what you believe you have to do. You see, this is where you start to really expand and things start to move forward for you in a much powerful way that you were never able to experience at that previous level of consciousness where you were attached to some patterns. Does that make sense? Leave a comment down below if that makes sense. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to perform self-healing is number 3, embody your preference now. Embody your preference now. What you need to start to do is stop telling yourself, I can't do this because fill in the blank, because of this challenge, because of this limitation. Look, it doesn't matter what you're manifesting next. There's going to be a million reasons that you can pick out in your experience that you could focus on in terms of why that means you can't go towards what you want. A million, always. There's always an opportunity to focus on something that's not serving you and helping you to go to your goal. But why would you focus on that? Because you can focus on things infinitely that are going to lead you down infinite timelines. What you need to learn to do is embody who you prefer to be now, regardless of the challenge. Regardless of whatever is trying to sway you and pull you for the ride because this is what I need to be focusing on. No, screw all of that. What resonates for you right now? Embody that. Be that version of you is simply right now. And the more that you give yourself permission to do this, like for me, it was like if I had a flare-up, I would just get myself in the gym. Who would I be if I was already healed? I would be going to the gym whenever I feel like it. Not because I have to, just like because I feel like going. And that usually for me is a couple times a week. You know, I used to be very structured, and then I need to go to the gym 3 days a week, no matter what. And that's a good structure, and I still do that to some degree, but it's not as regimented to the point where it's like for me, I naturally just go to the gym like 3 days a week now. It's just what I feel. It's like, who would I be if I was already if I was already healed? Yeah, I'd be going to the gym whenever I feel like it. Not because I have to, not because it's like some chore, because I just feel like going there. And that's exactly what I do. And that actually also helped me. And it's like, what do I feel like if I was, how would I eat if I was completely healed? I would just eat whatever I eat, like feeling in this moment now. And of course, naturally, I gravitate towards healthy foods, whatever I need to eat. I haven't eaten fast food in like years at this point. I don't even remember the last time I had fast food. I honestly can't tell you the last time I ate fast food because I don't gravitate towards that because it's just not in alignment with who I want to become, right? When I know who I want to become, healthy person, that's all my consciousness perceives. Yep, this is what I feel called to do. This is what resonates for me. This is what I want. And then your preferences start to change based on what you're intending for and what you want to create, what your intention is, where you want to go. And when you're going towards what you want to go and you fall into that fully, any aspect that's out of alignment with that just falls away. It just falls away as if it never existed. That is a form of healing. This is what most people don't understand, is that that's a form of healing. Embodying who you prefer to be now and then who you used to be transforms and alchemizes into the new self. So you're not killing the old self. You're not calling it bad. You're not trying to remove any part of your experience. You're just simply using that energy in terms of wherever you are and going towards what you want anyways from a space of totally accepting the situation. And then from that space, you just transform. It's very, very simple. Just from that space of not resisting any emotions, not resisting anything that's happening in your experience, just go take radical action in the direction of who you want to be. Don't think about it. Thinking actually releases cortisol in the body. Don't think, just go be. Thinking is difficult. Taking action, going in the direction that you want is easy, right? Thinking is difficult. Thinking creates resistance. Thinking is not an enjoyable experience. Taking action, regardless of what you're thinking, and just being in the moment right now is very easy. I mean, not always easy. Sometimes it's going to be difficult. Sometimes it's going to be challenging. Sometimes it's going to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it's going to feel like I'm in the unknown. I don't really understand what's happening. Yet, you'll notice that if you compare that with being stuck in a loop, it's a lot more enjoyable to just go face your fear. Take the action. Don't think about it. It's a much more enjoyable experience in my personal experience. Just go face your fear. Embody who you want to be now. Who would you be if you were already healed? Just go be that right now. And trust yourself through that entire process. And you'll notice that you realize you are the healer. You are the healer. It's not the diet. It's not the technique. It's not the person that's coaching you. It's not anything outside of you. Although those can be permission slips, so keep that in mind. I'm not saying that these techniques, or any technique for that matter, is bad or good or wrong or right. Whatever works for you is what is right for you. It's just as simple as that. Whatever you resonate with, whatever you think is right for you. Go embody that right now and just go be that, because that's what feels right to you. And it is right because it's what works for you. It's absolutely right. Somebody else can be also right, but that contradicts your right. But that doesn't mean either of you are wrong. You're both right, but in your own way. Who do you want to be now? who would you be if you are already where you wanted to be? And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, leave a comment down below if this video was supportive for you in any way. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I read every single comment. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible, helping themselves and helping others in the process as well. Hitting that like button has helped the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.